So I studied in Russia. My career of management and marketing, and I'm quite a creative person. But at that time I didn't know that I would be a designer, as usually your parents tell you that you have to find some job that you can earn money, and with the creativity you will not be able to earn enough money to live. And I thought about that, and I decided to follow their advice. And on the third year of my studying, I started to be interested a lot in graphic design. Before I studied in School of Fine Arts, but it was a long time ago, and I had like some basic of art, but it didn't really influence so much. So you can't become a designer without even any ability of drawing. And so I think that probably I would like also to talk a little bit about the structure of presentation. Sorry to switch on the topic. So first of all, from where I start, how I decided that the design is a cool profession and that you can achieve a lot of stuff there. You can earn good money with that, and it's really, really interesting and motivating profession. If the education really matters, if it's important to study the graphic design, if you want to become a designer. And also I would like to share you about my experience, how I studied, and my growth as a professional. And of course, to tell you how to make the best self-presentation, maybe to prepare your CV, I will show you some of my portfolio works and how to present your portfolio to the clients. As far as I know, that all of you are graphic designers or freelancers, UX, UI designers. Maybe there are some other people from other industry, but the majority, I think you can be really interested in that, and you can get some experience and some advices from me. And also, as I already mentioned, that is really important to organize yourself, the time management, and I will tell you some of my tips of how to do that. And at the end, I will share with you something interesting and important. So it would be a little bit surprise at the end of the presentation. And all of the pictures that I'm using in my presentation, they are my work. So enjoy it. And then coming back to the education, if it's really important, I think that everything actually is important that is happening in your life, and that all the decisions that you make, they're leading you to some other steps that your life will present to you. And so I studied marketing and management, and then eventually I started to be really interested in graphic design. I started to learn programs by myself, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, InDesign. I was watching tutorials in YouTube. So basically I started to learn the design by myself. I didn't pay for any school, and I even didn't pay for any book and nothing. Everything is in internet, especially nowadays. You can get a lot of free information, and the most important, the desire and the motivation to learn. And then I moved to Spain, and I already knew that I want to become a graphic designer, and I studied here a master in graphic and web design. And I think it was more about like the visa, to get a student visa and to stay in the country. because I really wanted to get international experience and to learn Spanish and to live in another country. So I saw that graphic design would be the best for me at that time. And while I was studying, I already got some clients from Russia. So I was doing first the logotypes. I was really passionate about creating the idea. And that's why I really like the design, because it is based on the needs of the people, right? So we solve problems, and it's not only about the beautiful image, or we are not really artists that we just take an idea from our hand from somewhere and we just create. So the design is really, really important to focus on what do people really need, and that's how your design will be successful, right? So we should think about the problems and we should solve it in a beautiful way. And after finishing my master, I started to work in one company in Spain. And there was like this internship work. It was a design agency and a communicative agency where I started to also do the logotype, the branding, identity, the website, so everything. And it was pretty good experience. And actually, I already got my raise, but I won a scholarship of the one really prestigious university that is called Institut Europeu de Design. It's internationally famous, and in Madrid they have a campus, and I really dreamed about studying in that university, but it was quite expensive. It's a private university, so I won my scholarship because I did the presentation. I talk about my experience, my project that I want to develop there. I was super happy, so I started to study there again one more year. But then it was based also on the working there. So you study and you also have to work. It was kind of like also internship. And there I learned a lot about the UX design. They were really focused on the needs of the people, and they were really doing the research. And we did a lot of work, with these stickers on the wall. And it was really fun. I think that this process, it takes a lot of time, and sometimes in the companies, when you have a lot of clients, you have really small deadlines, and you want to achieve more and more, you want to earn more money, you just erase that step. But if you work for the really big client, for a huge project, I think that is really important to do it step by step. And also it's really good to explain to the client that your designing process, your thinking process and the flow, and from where you got this design, what was the initial idea, and why exactly this, why you came to that result. That's what I also learned with the experience at university. And at the end, you also learn how to present your work. You learn how to work with people, because we were from different countries. So everybody has its own culture, its own interests, and we had to speak in English. And that was really cool experience. And so I must say that if you have a opportunity to study, it's good to do it, because you also go into the community, you get to know people. It's always a good investment in the education, I think. And so after that, I already started my work experience, and I entered in the company from United States. It's a startup it's a platform where they sell opportunities to invest with a cryptocurrency. They do smart contracts. And that was my first real job here in Spain. And it was not so super creative. I like it because it was more about user experience and thinking about the process. So it was more about the creating the path, but not to make a beautiful stuff like the creativity and so on, because you always have to base also on the already design that is the definition of the guideline of the company. And later I will show you the work that I was doing for them. I can share also with you my portfolio and to show how I present my work. Mostly I'm using the Behance, is the website where I also get a lot of inspiration. And there you can create your portfolio. It's quite useful. It's really easy. So if you haven't heard about that, take a look. And it's also a huge community, and they also do streams online. Before the COVID, they also did like offline events. I think they do it in the United States. And there are a lot of platforms actually where you can do your portfolio. I will talk about that a bit later when I come to my portfolio. And so as I was sick of the creativity and also with the COVID, I started to look for other opportunities. So I had pretty much time when we were locked down. But I was always continuing, working as a freelancer, because it's very good, just in case, to have your own clients in case that you want to leave the company or something happened and you get fired, you would always have a base. And usually I'm not really registered in any of the platforms like Malt. I don't really use them. The clients just come because they like the design, and they just I think it's called Sarafan Radio. When they just advise you to your friend, to their friends, to their colleagues, and they just come, and one day they write you and you gotta work. And after I started to work in one digital agency, so I continue working in my United States company, and I started to work in agency, as I already mentioned, that those guys, they use Malt as a platform to find clients. And it's going really good because they have a lot of clients and they do all the processes in Malt. And they are really creative guys, and we do web design applications. So this, for example, that you see in the picture is one of the work that I created with them. It's the application of the food delivery. And so I continue to work in like that. And the third company is the design agency that I started as a trainee, as an intern. And I just contacted once my boss, and they said, "Oh, do you have some work for me? I'm free." And he said, "Yeah, sure. Actually, I have a big project for you." So that's why we started also to work together. And here I just included the picture because that was the beginning probably of my experience.
Margarita,
See?
people are saying that they can see your presentation.
They
I
can.
only can see your picture. Yeah. Now you change slides, right?
See? Yes.
So I don't know if people are able to see it, but they are saying that they can't. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that we have to do the full screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see this Adobe borders, but better to see that than see nothing. Okay, so I included that picture because for me it's always fun when I think all of you, it happens when the client always take part of the project and tell you what to do. So you always have to avoid that, and this phrase, "as the client is always right," I don't really disagree with that 100%, because we are designers and we can influence with our speech and our explanation the client. So that is really important. why you should present your work and why you should explain everything really, really clear from the beginning of the process and at the end, because the clients really like it. They really love from where it comes your idea, why this line here, why this color, why this font. So just do the cool presentation. Maybe you can even invent something, and you just tell it, and the client will eat it. Some of them. So never allow the clients to show you like the way and to correct stuff. I mean, only in some cases, if you're super good friends and and you really see that he is right, because sometimes it happens when we are not 100% right. And it's very, very important to hear the feedback and to improve stuff if you really think so, and not to feel attacked, when people are saying that something is wrong with your design, or it doesn't work, or they don't like it. Everybody has its own taste, and the most important is explanation. So if they don't like it, you just say it, that I did it because of that. And that was the purpose. And they will understand that, because they cannot come into your head. They cannot see the idea and your thoughts. That happened a lot with me at the beginning, when I didn't know how to explain why I do like that. It was just like my thoughts or my intuition. But you should explain everything. So coming to the presentation and portfolio, I included also some really fine phrase that I also want to mention, that I read a lot of books about the design, especially a lot at the beginning. Now less, but still I'm doing. And at the end, I will share with you some of my favorite books to learn, and to learn from the experience of the others. That is actually super important, because you can evite a lot of mistakes. If you don't know something, just Google it. Just search for that, and you will save your time, and you will see how the others solve already the problem, because all the problems already solved. Actually, we face all the time with the same. So look for information a lot, search, research, and that will help you a lot. And this phrase that I really like. So it's as a designers is not just create something beautiful, as I already said, is to understand the user's mindset, and they predict what they will expect, and then make the design user friendly as possible. And nowadays people understand that, and more and more people hire UX UI designers, because they really see that it is needed. It is good to have a good working platform, website, application that is user-friendly, and the users will not go away of using the app after 5 seconds. And how to reach that is, again, to understand the user. Usually what I do, I always ask a lot the clients. So briefing is really important at the beginning. You create like a questionnaire with all the questions about the target audience, and then you search for the similar project that already exists, or probably the project that can like the target audience. And then you create already the path of the user. Or you think about the lifestyle, what he likes, which type of colors he can like, which type of fonts he can like, or if it's a man or a woman, which age is the person, because you cannot do the same design for the website that sells clothes for kids, or sells the sheeps, or whatever. So that's, I mean, it's obvious, but sometimes when you start to do that, it's not so clear. So I would like now to share probably some of my works and to show you the workflow that I usually do and how I present my work. That really makes a bit a wow effect to the clients and to the other designers that see it. And maybe you can also get some inspiration from that. I would really happy. So I stop sharing, right? And then I do to share another screen with my Behance presentation. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I will come there. So that is the website that I was telling you. It's a Behance. Here you can subscribe on my profile, and we can stay in touch, because it's really good to create your own community, and always cool to have a good designers, even when you don't have time, for example. It's very useful that somebody can help you, or you can share the work with somebody. He can earn some money with that. So I think it's perfect to stay in touch and to share your experiences, or to work together, to collaborate. And it happened a lot to me that I didn't have time and I had to say to the clients no. That was really painful for me. And even if I had some designers, I would just give them the work if I trust them and I know that they do really good. So I'm looking for the designers in a team to share the work, because it happened a lot with me, and I would really love to maybe in the future to create, not in the future, right now already, create the community and to work together. So this is the portfolio, my portfolio, and I just share with this portfolio with my clients. So it's super easy. I just share the website and not like these huge documents that nobody wants to download. And maybe you are interested to see like the beginning of my work, because as you know, all the time is so different. And for example, this project that I did for my one Russian client. And you see that in the presentation, I always include a visual. I always include some pictures that connect to the design, to the idea. Sorry that this is in Russian, but I am explaining to you now. So this is the project for the one company that has fridges in the office, and you can buy your fresh cooked food from that. That is a great idea. And I also like to share the inspiration, as I already told you, to explain to clients everything from the scratch, how you did the project, the idea, and from where it comes. And so here you can see that from where I got the idea is super clear. And also the construction of the logotype, so the identity, so some styles. I really love to present the work on the other mock-ups on the devices, so it would be super clear for the clients. And this, like my work maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I'm not ashamed of that, but I know that now I can do much better. And it's super cool, to see your designs that was before, and to compare it with that you are doing now. So that was also an interesting project. It's also about the website that is connecting the restaurants and the manufacturers of the food. So they want to automatize the process, and that was like the web design, and also it's like the landing page. Actually, I wanted to share with you another project of the same client. It's more interesting. is this one. And here I created like the whole visual identity for them. It was also the landing page, and they were doing the presentation. So this is a real pictures with my work, and it's always super cool to get the final, photos where your design is used. And for me, it's a lot of fun. I really love to receive the good feedback about my work. That people use the design. I'm super happy about that. That was like the roll-ups, and so I created all the visual identity for them. The logotype I also created, and some mock-ups, and I like to include like this type of like fruits or the leaves, because it's about food, and it looks like more fresh, more modern, or like tasty. That was the illustration that I did by hand, and I did it to the t-shirt design. And they also asked me to create like a clothes, the concept for the girls that they were promoting. So that was more about the inspiration. And so here, like my final works, and the last ones that I was already showing to the presentation. Here, I really like how I presented that project. So these mockups are always, all of them are free, and I don't pay for nothing. I just download them from internet. But there are so many stuff in internet, so you should be really selective and to find the best, because I spend a lot of time on that. Because for me, it's really important to make the best presentation ever. Here I show also the design process and different steps. This is about the UX. So we draw with the team like small wireframes and the user flow, and that's how we can have like a brainstorm and to rethink about the path. And with team, it's always cooler to work for me, at least, because as we say in Russia, that the one hand is good, but the two hand is much better. And that was the initial design from that the clients came to us. And so you see that he cannot really go so far away with that nowadays. And we had to rethink about the user experience. So here I presented the user flow. Usually I do that in Figma, or there are also some websites, some applications that is super easy to, I think one is called Octopus or something like that. I'm not sure, sorry, I forgot. But there are a lot. You can just search in Google, and you create automatically, that path and all these tabs. And these are the low fidelity wireframes. That is also one of the steps of the user UI UX designer work. Here in that step, you can define with the client, so you don't spend so much time on already final designing. You show that to the client, and you agree, okay, here we do that, and that's how it works. That's how you move how you make an order, how you do all the process in the application. And you don't, I mean, of course you spend time, but not so much as then the client will say you in the final design that, oh, I don't like that, so can you change that? And again, you have to make it perfectly, and better to use firstly the wireframes, and at the end, you do the design system. I work in Figma. Figma is the application. If somebody didn't hear about that, it's free. It's super easy to use. Every time is improving. They add new features. It's not so cool for creating a logotype, but for the website, for the web design, for the design of the application, I think is the best. I was also working in Sketch, but Sketch it's I have to pay, and also you can use it only in the Mac. But Figma and probably InVision also is these tools that I'm using. Even this presentation I did in Figma. So imagine, it's super easy. And here I define like the colors, the types. It's just a small example of the design system, okay? Because for the big projects, I have like a huge, I will show you later. And this is the presentation of screens. You know, it's always good to make it just beautiful and to make it, as I already said, tasty. So the client will say, "Oh God, it's so cool! Oh, I want to hire you." And also, you know, to explain something like here, I also say about the idea, about the screens. What is it? My account. Oh, it's actually so long. Okay, it finished. And yeah, it's always cool, you know, to say thanks for watching and well, that's pretty it. I'm not don't want to really put to use so much time on showing my work, but you got already the idea how I present it, and you can go to my portfolio and Behance if you are curious to see more or get inspiration. Don't copy. But sometimes I'm also, when I don't know how to create a portfolio, I'm just searching it in Dribble, searching it in Behance or in Pinterest, and just to get some inspiration with the colors, with the construction of the page. Because it's, you know, we always have a lack of time, and I don't want to spend like one day designing just the presentation of the final design. So I'm also using a lot of mockups that I already said that I download for free. And so that's pretty it. So I think I can come back to my presentation. A second. And how to see the questions, because maybe somebody was asking me and I don't know how to see them.
Yeah, there was one question that said, how do the clients come first?
You mean that when you don't have any clients and you just start and you want to get something?
Yeah, I think that was it. Isabel is the owner of the question, so she's typing. I think you can see it in the chat.
But how? Because I don't see the message icon, or how to make it.
Go to the top right. There's an arrow, and you can click on it.
The arrow. Okay, sure.
Uh-huh.
Oui. To get new not coming from previous ones. Okay, fine. You can use Malt. Well, I think that's, well, for me it happens a lot. Just talking with the people, you know, all the time. There are some of my friends, the friends of my friends, they just say, "Oh, I need a graphic designer. Oh, I want to make a logotype. You know, I need it." And what I do, I always telling about what I'm doing. You know, when you are maybe in a network event, or even if you are like in the office, you meeting with the new people, and talk about yourself. Say that I'm a graphic designer. You know, I'm doing this and this and this, and then people remember you. And even maybe better, that you can prepare, you know, some business cards, and you can show it to the people, so you have like a contact and so on. And I'm always telling what I'm doing, and it happened a lot when friends of my friends, they just come to me, and then you do good job. They are really happy with that, and they just give you more clients. So for me, it's working like that. It's more like about people talking between themselves, and they contact me. But the beginning, how I started, so I was like 17 or 16 years old. Now I'm 27. So it was like 10 years ago already. Oh my God, the time flies. So I just posted in my social network. I just posted that here. Hey, I studied the graphic design. I shared some of my first works. Even if you don't have anybody that can order you, like I was doing for free. The beginning of my first logotypes, I was doing for free, and I just shared my works. I created my portfolio page. You can do it in Facebook. You can do it now in Instagram. It's much better. I'm a bit lazy for doing that in Instagram because I already have Behance. But in Instagram, there are a huge amount of designers that they share a lot of work. And actually, you just put the hashtags. Also in Instagram, I know that there are a lot of communities and also pages that you can ask them to share your picture, to share your work. And it's like accounts with thousands of people, and they're not only designers, but also they can be clients, and they just show you they see your work and they like it, and of course they will contact you. So also important not to go so much in the prices at the beginning, well, yeah, more or less like to see the market price, and if you are the beginner. And I think that's how I can advise Instagram, or talk to your friends what you're doing. And what else? So if I ask you a question, so yeah, ask me the question if you have them. I would be really happy to answer them. And there's not so much left from my presentation, and I can continue if you let me share my screen again. Do you see that? Right, my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I can talk now about some of the tips that I'm using to organize myself. As I mentioned that I'm working with a different project at the same time. How can I switch on, how to work and to deliver your work in a deadlines? That is super important. So what I do, I always try to put my deadline for myself like 3-5 days before the project, well, sometimes maybe one day, when the project should be delivered. And I just put it in calendar, and I say, okay, I have to do everything to finish it, and then write a message to the client. And the next day we like in Spanish we say con calma, in English like calm, relaxed. It's not always working like that. I am not going to lie to you, but I'm trying to always to be in time, and to deliver in time. If I cannot, I see that it's going outside from estimated time, I always say to the client honestly that, okay, sorry, I'm going later, so please, and sometimes I even do the discount, because it really improves, like, the opinion. The clients will come back to you and not thinking of you, oh, what an asshole that he is, deliver me the project so late. It's always just ask pardon, and to deliver it in time. And also, I like to have my notebook and to put my agenda here. And always like to put tasks of the day. Sometimes I do the tasks of the week, but mostly of the day. And it also really helps to organize you. I don't really put so much tasks. I just put maybe maximum 10. So your brain, is working as if he sees, if the brain sees that there's a huge amount of tasks, and you're like, oh, from which task I'm going to start, and you kind of like searching for the time, and you don't know from where to start, and you start to become lazy and not to be so no, I cannot find the word to say that. That you cannot work so fast. And also I like to even divide these tasks into parts of the day. For example, in the morning, more or less estimating time for this task, for example, to design the landing page or to design like 10 screens of the application. It will take me maybe, I don't know, like 2 hours, and I put these 2 hours. At the beginning, I even put an alarm, but then I just, it doesn't work for me, because you also spend time on putting an alarm, and you forgot, and then no, it doesn't work for me. Maybe somebody is advising that. Maybe alarm, it's cool if you have a meeting and you don't forget about that you are working and you just frustrated and you forget. It's good to put an alarm. And at the end of the day, what is really cool to make an agenda is to make a tick that you complete the task. So that's also, I was reading a lot of books about our psychology, and it really motivates you. You kind of say thank you to yourself that you completed this task, even if it is small. It's like you are doing good for yourself. You are saying, "Oh God, you're so cool," and you completed the work that you wanted. So for me, it works perfectly. So if you didn't try it, try to do that, and you will see the improvements in your work for sure, and your attitude and your motivation. And also, I really like to think about the future plans, like to think about what I want to launch, what I want to achieve in the future. It's also the question about how to find the clients, more or less like estimating, okay, in the next month I will have some free time for the new project, so maybe I can push a bit and I don't know, to publish more projects in Malt, or to register myself in another platform, or to make one more project in portfolio. So for example, what I was saying in Behance, exactly today, one man, one person contacted me in Behance, and he asked me if he has a design agency, and he said, "Oh, I'm looking for the profile, your profile as a graphic designer. So can we have a talk?" And I said, "Well, sure." So after this presentation, I'm going to make a call with him, and probably I will get one more work. So who knows? So it's always good to share, guys, your portfolio, and to talk about yourself, to talk what you do and how you can help the other people. And they will start to talk about you at the end.
There are 2 more questions if you want to read it.
Oh, sure. Okay. Should I stop sharing to read them, or?
Yes.
No, I see actually them.
Okay.
About pricing. How do you set a fair price, especially when clients have a low budget and do not understand that your work might take longer than they think and has a higher price?
And
Yeah.
sorry, but there was another one before, in case, I mean, just to keep it in mind. Benjamin said another.
I see. Could you please talk about the financial aspect of being a freelancer? Do you have your own company? How do clients pay you? How does it work in terms of taxes since you're working abroad? So I probably will ask first Benjamin because he was the first. And I'm here. I'm registered in Spain as a autonomo. It's called here, like as a freelancer. And I don't have my own company, but I pay taxes here. I'm registered here as autonomous because I started work in this company of United States, and they had some troubles with registering in Spain because they are quite young, and I think that they just didn't want to risk. And it's always for the company is better to hire the person as a freelancer, because if you fire this person, you don't need to pay like some months of salary, like extra salary. I don't know in another country how it works. I think it works all the same. But in Spain, if you are fired by the company, they have to pay you some months, like your salary, and it's reducing all the months. So for the freelancer, you are not secured of nothing. And how do clients pay you? I do the, in Spanish it's called factura, like an invoice in English. And then I also have like the agency that is helping me to count all my expenses and my earnings, because for the freelancer it's always cool that when you buy, for example, a computer or a phone, or even you go to the restaurant to have lunch, you can put it as the gastos, no, in Spanish, like your spendings. And it's like a process of how you can discount some of the taxes, like IVA in Spanish. I'm not sure how it's called in English, but there is like one tax that you have to pay here, 2 types of taxes. And one of the tax you can discount, because when you buy a phone, they also include this tax. And that's how it works. So more you earn, more you have to spend, to equilibrate a little bit, to balance. And I'm not registered as a freelancer in Russia. So with some Russian clients, I work in black, and because it's also not so like huge amount of money. It's not like millions of rubles or dollars. So there, I'm not really registered, and as I'm living here, I don't see the point to pay taxes to Russia. I hope that I answered your question. And another question was from Rebecca. How do I set a fair price? Okay, especially when clients have a low budget and do not understand that your work might take longer than they think and has a higher price. I was trying to work with two different ways. Usually clients really like when you say already the final price, especially the small ones. And that is always tricky, because you should, at the beginning, I was just checking the prices of the competitors. You just go to the platforms, like for example 99 how it's called, I don't remember, but there are a huge amount of platforms of the designers that they say, okay, the logo will cost this, and you look at the portfolio, more or less, you compare your portfolio, the level that you deliver with the other designers, and more or less you estimate this price. Of course, you can put the price that you want because you think that you're worth more, or in some conditions that you can you need to earn more, you can put it, and there would be always clients that they will hire you. Maybe there would be less, but still. And if you see that you spend more time, and or the client is really like picky, and he wants to have a lot of changes, what I do, I always say at the beginning how many changes I can include. For example, I can do like these changes in a logotype, like to change a little bit of color, to change maybe some shapes, to change font, and that's it. And if you want to change the whole concept, this is another job. You have to pay one more time. So you should control always. But usually with clients, I have a very good relation, and I don't really say that I didn't really have so much troubles with that. Sometimes I see that the client is just, there are some people that they don't know what they want, and that is the most dangerous. When they have maybe some like idea, but they are flying like, okay, maybe this, maybe that. And in this case, as a designer, you say, I'm a professional here. So if you don't know, please trust me, I'm a professional. And you explain again why you came with that idea, why exactly this. And there are many people who really understand that, and they will agree with you. And they will be super happy that you explain them, and they will be really happy that they hire a professional. So think about that all the time, that when the client disagree with you, and if you really see that the client is like, it's impossible to contact with him, so just maybe leave. And it happened to me only once that I had to, but I delivered actually the project, but I'm not sure if the client at the end was happy. But I spent a lot of time, extra time, and that was pretty out of budget. But I never say to the clients, oh, I spend more time, so you have to pay me more. That is not so nice. And the second type of payment that I do, it works more if you collaborate with the companies, if you work with the other designers, if they hire you in a team. So you can say for the hours. So my hour costs like that, and I think that in Malt they also charge for the hours. And you just say that my hour costs a lot, that, and more or less this project will take me like 30 hours. And these 30 hours will cost you this. And again, this time management can help you. So you to work in that way, I always set up when I start to work, I always put the time when I start the project, and when I finish to work on that project, I put the time. And that's how I calculate how much time I spent. Well, you can maybe use it with your phone, but I'm an old fashion girl, and I really like to use my notebook. And that's yeah, I mean, it's not so easy, especially at the beginning, to estimate the time. So I think at the beginning you just can see the prices of the other designers, and obviously you're going to spend more time at the beginning because you're just starting, you don't have so much experience. And of course, next, for example, in my level now, I'm just do many things automatically, and it really helps to train your like visuality, like to always to see, to always to inspire yourself, to always go to the other website to see the portfolio of the other designers, and your brain remembers the design, remembers everything, the matching of the colors, the fonts, the textures, the shapes. And then you come to work and you already have an idea, and you say, oh, okay, I'm going to do that. And like your hand already drawing, and you're not so controlling it so much because you already remember it and you already know how to do that. So yeah, at the end, you will learn and you will spend less time on the design, and that's how you can get more clients and earn more money. I hope that I answered your question. So the next was, how do Americans pay you? Americans, I send them the invoice also, and I pay there only one tax. In Spanish, it's called RPF, and I don't pay like this tax. That they charge you when you buy something. You know, this like basic tax. I'm so sorry that I don't know how it's called in English. In Spanish, it's called IVA. So for Americans, they just make a transfer to my bank account, and that's all. Because I'm registered here, so I pay only one tax. Do you currently work? Question from Isabel. Do you currently work more as a UX UI designer or as a graphic designer? Would you recommend the UX UI field? For sure, I will recommend UX UI field. It also depends what you like, but in UX UI field, I think you can earn much more money because it's more nowadays. It's like people appreciate it much more, and I think that better. I will just switch on the other slide. So here I have some recommendation, as I told you, some books that I read and I really like them, and you can remember that. You can make a note. And to inspire, there are some websites that I always check when I don't know the idea, when I try to find inspiration. That's there are some tips for you, please. And continue with answering the question. I really love the graphic design, to create the logotype, to create branding, to create identity. It's more creative for me. It's more passionate and more motivating, because at the end, in the UX UI, for me, it's kind of all the same. The design is changed, but like the structure, of the web, of the application, like more or less is already defined. Of course, I really like to find the new ways, but there are companies that they are like super pro in that they are superstars in graphic design, and they can spend a lot of time on testing things, like the new things, and the clients pay to them a lot to test new things. But I'm working in the companies that the clients want already the product. They don't want to spend money on investigating like the new area. So we just do as comfortable as it exists now. And I may say that for me, the UI UX is not so creative and so motivating, but there are much more demand from that. And financially, it is better paid. So I hope that I answer your question. And the next, if there were some question about for me, I think no.
So if anyone has any other question, please ask it now. And if not, you can, Margarita, you can write your email in case someone has any question, and maybe you can reply. And if you have any other questions for me, you can write me. So if we finished, if you don't have any more questions, I think we are done. Okay, so people are writing, so maybe they'll ask something.
I share my portfolio in so you can also contact me there. You can follow me there, because I have like I always check it. So as I already told you, the Instagram I don't really use so much for the design. I don't upload so much stuff, so it's not really nothing to see there. And my mail, of course. As I already mentioned, that I'm looking for the people in a team to share the work and to work together, because for me, it's always much more interesting and much more motivating to work with the others. So if you can share with me your portfolio, you can tell me a little bit about your experience and write me to this mail, and we can have a call with you. And when I got some work, of course, I will contact you and we can work together. I would be really, really happy to collaborate with you guys.
Great, that's fantastic. I think someone will send their portfolio to you, I'm sure. So okay, I'll activate my camera.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much for your attention, and thank you so much for moderating. And this experience was amazing. As I told you, it was my first time, so I hope that the people not get bored and they got some really good information from me, and they spent a fun time. So thank you so much.
I had a lot of fans. I think everyone had. They asked some questions, so I think it was super interesting. I really like this world, UX UI. So I really liked it.
Cool.
So that's all. Thank you very, very much, Margarita, for being the speaker in this Malt Academy. I'm sure we'll work together next time. And thank you, everyone, for attending this Malt Academy. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll send an email to you so you can watch the replay in YouTube. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me, to write here. We'll be pleased to help you. So have a nice day, and I hope to see you again.
Okay. Oh, and also if you have some feedback about my presentation, you can let me also, because it's really important for me.
I really liked it. So, but if you have any feedback, it will be welcome from my part too. And thank you, Margarita. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice
day.
And day. And good luck with the inner design.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much.
Hello.